Well, that was a really nice hike. It'll probably be on video for next week, so if you're up for a good hiking video, stay tuned then. If you only like the cabin segments, well, you're going to have a week off. So, as promised, I'm going to boil these sausages up. Probably have 2 of them now for lunch, and when I roast them up on the fire after they're cooked, I'll put the other couple back out in the freezer for another treat another day. It tastes pretty good now. Might even get one of my cold Cokes out of the freezer to have with it, just to, not that it's that hot of it, not that it's a cold day, but in here at the cabin, I think with brats and a Coke, maybe a few chips, sounds like a good meal. Of course, it's KSJB North Country Showcase, AM 600.
But don't stand long and let's see, Arlene and Lauren.
Well, wood cutting project is coming along. Instead of a pile of logs there's just a pile of sawdust now. Things are picking up, and I'm pretty well done with that big Granberg mill operation. Now I've moved on to what's called the edging part of the project. Over here, the planks on the right they're all finished. I got to cut the edges off all those over there. Working on that. I got a batch done this morning. I'm ready to start it again. Goes along pretty fast. I've been using this little saw. Got the low profile thin chain on it. The 3/8 low profile. So it takes a narrow cut, so it doesn't need near the horsepower to cut through these, and I'm glad that it worked out because it's a lot easier than horsing that big John's Red 2166. Sticker had come off this saw, so I had the luck, but it's a little 2238. Not a super high quality saw, but picked it up at a auction. I think it had the cover plate missing, and I got it cheap and got that put on, and it served me well. Got an idea that maybe the ignition module's going out, because when it's really hot it doesn't want to start, and I can't really, it'll run, but I can't even see the spark when I check the spark on the spark plug. So I got an idea that I'm due for a module, but that's just a little plug and play thing. I just take the cover off and get that put on. So we'll get this operation going again. just finished up a nice break with some surprise company. They came in and they were in search of I keep talking about the three-toed woodpeckers I have around the cabin. Well, it's so scarce, and folks are trying to find some for some studies. I'm not sure if I've ever seen such a big cluster of the calypso orchid before. Went off a little walk. This will take me by Sven's cabin. We are nearing Sven's old cabin, and it's just a good area. There's might not be able to pick them up in this little distance, but there's calypso orchids scattered through this whole area. Always has been, probably always will, as long as it never gets logged. Sven's outhouse is a little more of a lean to it this year, but it's still standing. The last time anybody would have used that would have been 90 years ago. Down here in the deep swamp this morning, trying to do some calls for those three-toed woodpeckers. Came across some fresh killed trees back here just a little bit, so I know the black-backed or the three-toed have been around not too long ago, because you can tell how fresh the bark had been knocked off. So I had this little rest spot from my deer hunting days. Well, it's a good chance to take a little break and just enjoy the woods. Well, the old apple tree is really looking good. I tried piling some brush around these white pines that are trying to make it. And there's 3 of them in here. I think this one here, I think that the way that looks like blister rust. Might have got to it. They get around the cambium layer. Once it circles the trunk, everything above that dies. Check my phone to find out. Wednesday, May 21st. So far on this trip, I've gone through a major heat wave, a rather cold spell, and now for the rest of the trip, we're going to be normal. About 60 Fahrenheit right now with the sunshine, and I moved over back to the shade again. About noon, have a cup of tea and one of Bonnie's chocolate breads, and take them up for a nap. Did a nice long walk, but I'm feeling pretty good. So I go back over and get that chainsaw up and I've got 6 more boards to edge for the deck boards. Had that project all done. Put those Granberg apparatuses away for a while. I've heard Granberg about as much as I care to. That old fun meter got pegged out a while ago on that, but got to get the job finished up. So, well, I got rest of today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to not do much. About time. I didn't start a fire in the wood stove this morning because it was almost 60 inside the cabin. I knew it was going to be decent enough, and when it gets like this, just any little fire at all, it just makes it too hot. So anyway, I wanted to heat up my Bonnie's bread. See, there are chocolate chips in there, chocolate chip banana bread, and so I just put it in a cast iron pan on really low with a lid on it. Oh, those chocolate chips are all nice and melty now. I'm going to go over here and sit down and enjoy. Since the bugs are arriving, I spent some time, got the bug netting put up in my little sleeping quarters. Not really bad yet, but last night there were enough of them flying around inside the cabin that I knew they would have been bothering me trying to sleep, so we got that taken care of. Slept a little bit late this morning. So the sun's up there a little higher. It was going to be a cool morning, so I had the stove inside all ready to light. But when I got up, it was cold in the cabin. And it was actually cold out here, but out here in the sun, really feels good. So come out here to enjoy my morning. My plan was to head out and go up and get the vehicle and maybe go out and where there's some stone and some gravel and pick up some containers full and work on my road a little bit on the way back in. That's still kind of the plan, but it's so nice here. I might just kind of work around here this morning. I can always do that tomorrow. Big news was Kevin had sent me a text yesterday, and of course I got phone service, so I called him right back, and he was checking on the bug situation and what he was doing. He come up a couple of years ago in the springtime late, and I met him out there on the road, to bring him in, and he opened his car window, and the mosquitoes they were so bad. He almost turned around and headed back for home or out west or something just to get out of here, but he did stick it out about 2 days, and then he cleared out. But so this time before he came, told me he wanted to check on the bugs before he came, so he sent a message yesterday and said, "How are they?" And I said, "Hey, not bad at all, so come on up." So I said, "They're going to get bad." I warned him, and he knows it. I said, "The conditions have been holding them back, and so when they cut loose, they're gonna be here." But for as late as it is, we're in the 20th some of May, and I cannot complain whatsoever. So, having my morning coffee outside, got to try the Canada Jays I see the young fledglings have showed up. They're keeping back in the brush a little bit, but they're here, so we're gonna get some film footage coming up of them eating. The folks have brought them into the mother lode. I thought the young jays were here by themselves. This is a young one here. You see how it's so dark gray. Then I spotted the mama and papa kind of standing back in the wings and letting the children come in and find out where the food is. So that'll be on the agenda. Got a few other projects to get cleaned up. Got stuff laying around here that for my working I gotta get it put away, and it'll all come eventually. Yesterday I got the rest of the roof boards stacked up inside the new cabin, and I got finished up cutting the slabbing out and trimming up all the planks for the deck. I still need to stack them up and sticker them, but that's right, Kevin's coming. Maybe I'll just wait. He can help me with that one. Goes a lot faster with two, picking up boards, laying in slat, blah, blah, so. Yeah, I'll put him to work. Another project since this Claire, looking for those three-toed woodpeckers, maybe spending some time back here, and I don't know if she'll spend the night or not, but at least I've got it set up that I put a screen tent inside the new cabin, so check this out. I'm not sure if Claire will be back before I go, but I thought if she does get here, even the daytime, or if the bugs get really bad, I think especially at night, this would be a nice place to be sleeping out here if she gets, or if there's more than one person around or whatever, if this is a nicer place to sleep for her. I got it set up in there. I put the screen tent, I put tarps down on the floor so the bugs can't come to the floor. I got the Bud Special big zero gravity chair in there to sit bedside. I think it would make a pretty nice little thing here to have. I know Kevin's gonna be bunking in there tonight or whenever he's here. It's gonna work out pretty good. He doesn't have to listen to my snoring. This is our nice stack of lumber for the deck boards. They're all ready to be put down, but when Kevin's here, we'll lay them across those things on the ground over there and put some sticker wood between them and then get them weighted down on top so they dry without warping. Things will be ready to go for anybody that shows up this fall to help finish out that guest cabin. This is the slabs off the side of all those logs. Fair amount of firewood right there. And then as I did all the edging, got piles of wood like that I'll probably just throw it on the other pile that I had left from last year when we did all the cutting, and then I'll just use it off that pile inside the cabin this fall rather than messing around getting it put in the woodshed. Oh, and all that sawdust, I should get some of that hauled out of here. It's going to kill the lawn if I don't. Oh, that's right, Kevin's coming. Bud, I'm checking out your mosquito killer here. Every once in a while it zaps. I think though that it doesn't really attract them. I think one just flies by and gets caught every once in a while, because as you can see them flying in the air here. They're really thick, but they're not going in there like they're attracted to that light. I wish it worked that way. We'll wait here and see if we get an accidental kill.
There's definitely a few around you.
Yeah, I don't think it's effective. Oh, there we got one.